All right, welcome back, everyone. Here's another episode of DRP Between The Sets. This podcast is for anybody looking to be educated, motivated, and inspired on the fitness world, the sports world, or anybody who's just trying to get a better understanding of fitness in general. I'm here with two special people. I'm here with one of our co-hosts, Darci.
Hello, hello.
Darci is a trainer here, which everyone knows. She's here. She's going to be talking with us with a personal trainer, Hannah.
Hi.
How you doing today, Hannah?
Oh, rocking. We're doing good.
Hannah is someone that I've met. Ooh, Hannah, how many? That's probably back in like COVID time, I think. That was like right after COVID.
Slightly pre-COVID, but definitely COVID.
That was COVID time.
Our bodybuilding days.
Our bodybuilding days, yeah, which was great days, not fun days.
Sad and hungry, but inspiring days.
That was a good description.
Not great. And,
Sad and hungry.
Darci knows when I was doing bodybuilding, that's when we was working together and how miserable I was, and I complained to
I would
Darci
agree.
a
You
lot.
were sad and hungry.
I was like,
I
I think
really
she's
was.
loyal if she's still here, right?
Yeah. I like complained to Darci a lot, and she would pick on me because she knew I was like just mad and upset all the time. But Hannah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your journey, your story. Let's hear a little bit about you.
What a time. Okay, so let's see. I've been in the fitness industry for probably 10 years. No, definitely 10 years. I'm from Ohio, as we were just talking about. My husband and I both played college sports. So he was a wrestler, and then I was in volleyball. I played for 16 years. As soon as I was done with that, I was like, my life is over. Like, what do I didn't even know what to do, right?
We've all been there.
Yeah, rough.
What do we do next?
I'm very lucky that I found Lululemon, and I worked there for a really long time. I worked
wow.
there for about
Nice.
5 years. Yeah,
Nice.
that's what got me into the
Yeah.
CrossFit world. So I did CrossFit for then 5 years. So let's see, that was until 2016. My husband graduated college. We got engaged the next day, moved to Florida the next day.
Nice.
Right, so that's what got me here. Yeah, so luckily for Lululemon, I was able to transfer down here. My husband is a professional fighter, right? So that's what moved us here. Good stuff.
That's serious stuff. That's serious stuff. Right
Yeah, and then I was like, now I gotta meet new people. Like, what do I do down here? Luckily, with Lululemon, I was able to meet so many people in the community, right? I met all their ambassadors. I tried different classes, but I was in my CrossFit groove. Did that for 4 years. And with personal training, I wanted to get into, like building a book again. I just moved to a new state. How do I do this? Once I got more into sports performance, so out of what I was just doing more for fun to fill the space, I then got into more personal training. I worked at a facility called FTX Wellness, which was working with people in recovery, slightly some of the CrossFit community, and then a lot of just what I got into for full-time personal training. But then, Florida, I was partying and drinking and having fun while still doing my job, and I didn't like what I looked like. I loved what I looked like. I was strong. I was great. But I wanted to see what my potential was. And that's when bodybuilding came in, right? And I love it. I appreciate it, but dark times, rough times. So that journey, I was a bodybuilder for, I want to say 4 or 5 years, living that lifestyle. And that's when my business became, I want to say, the biggest. I was busy. I showed people that I could do what I was teaching everyone to do. I was
And
like, I
did
did
you
this.
stay in person or did you go online for that bit?
I actually went online right before COVID started.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
God.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
God. And it worked.
Good for
It
you.
worked
Yeah, you got
perfect
it
timing.
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, guys, luckily, let's say I had 10 clients online. They were able to tell, hey, I've got this gal that I work with. You should too, during COVID. So then it flowed and it went.
Everyone was looking for someone.
Yeah, and it worked really well. So through my bodybuilding journey, my online business flourished. I was getting busier in person, which was awesome. I knew, though, that I wanted to stay in personal training, and I wanted to start a family. So I was like, okay, bodybuilding's cool. Did that, loved that. I'd love to teach others to do that, but I'm ready to step out of this. So 2022, had my last competition season, was the best I'd ever been, and was very satisfied with where I ended. And then I was like, okay, let's get the hormones right. And I ate a lot, did a lot, traveled a lot, and then I had got pregnant. And I was like, okay, cool. now I'm on
Like a
in
mom.
fitness and I'm rocking out. I love it. So I've done a little bit of everything, but
Yeah.
I like where it's led me.
Yeah. How was it for you after stopping the bodybuilding competitions? Like, how did you feel from that body perspective? Because I think I had a tough time with that too as well. Yeah,
Imposter syndrome. I was so confused. I didn't realize, like actually talking to a lot of my friends now, I didn't realize how many people's lives I affected, not in a positive way. Like I would judge people's food that they were eating. I'm like, you're buying that? So I think I was like coming back to myself, right? Like what health and fitness really was. I was very blinded for a little bit, thinking that there was only one way to lose weight, get skinny, do these things. And as much as bodybuilding was awesome, I was really happy to get out of that. So finding myself again was hard, but fun at the same time.
And what about like as a marriage and then like with you and your husband, like you said he's a fighter. So he's probably on the same kind of lifestyle wavelength
Very
that
much
you
so.
are. Was the transition out of bodybuilding like was there a difference in it? Like was your foods different? Were your lifestyles different? Like what was it like there?
You know, we only went through 2, we'll call them preps for him too. Preps together, right? So he had this is like 2019. He had a competition in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, April 27th, Friday. And then I had my competition the next day in Louisville, Kentucky. So for like 6 months, I'm getting ready. He's getting ready for 4 weeks. But mind you, he's going from 195 pounds to 170 pounds, which, I mean, he shouldn't even be doing. His body shouldn't do that.
That's
but
hard.
also, this is somebody that gets to 170 pounds on the scale morning of and then goes to bed at 195, same day. So it's just like out of his muscles. Whatever. So just imagine a very dehydrated, potentially angry, hungry person. I'm like, oh,
No
this
bash
is
to your husband here.
Right. But like also impressive.
Yeah, that is very impressive.
I felt nothing anymore. I was like, okay, what I do is minuscule compared to this. So we had a lot of battles, but we respected each other at the same time. And then when we were done and both won our competitions, I mean, like,
that has to feel.
it was
That's
the
awesome.
greatest thing in the world. So that made it worth it, but don't want to do that again. So
Yeah,
now I'll just support him.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And like even from not only the physical but the mental.
More mental than
standpoint,
physical.
Yeah,
You
it's
think
just
it's
all
just
mental,
physical.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Until-
that just has to be rough, and
Yeah.
then just.
Well, and you can attest to this, right, for working together and being in the space. You're almost like I hate using work wife, but you guys are together a lot, just like I am with
we're
all
always
my
there.
people.
When we
right?
go to go places, people are like, oh, you're like we have my daughter, like the t-shirt shop the other day, they're like, oh, your husband. I go, that's not my husband. He's like, oh, it's not. I'm like,
Exactly.
his
I'm
wife.
like, yeah, let's get some free stuff. Like, come on,
You're
like,
like,
give
no,
us
keep
discounts.
going. Exactly.
Discounts.
So like the people that work with us, they know how hungry we are. But like when Tyler and I are together,
Do you guys work together?
no, thank God. I mean, that'd be fine too, but I wouldn't get anything done. I'd be like, hey.
Yeah, just mess around.
When we were both hungry, it was like,
Yeah, just going back and forth.
yeah.
Do you
And
s-
like now we make dinners together. Before it was like, you got your rice and your green beans and your beef made. Yeah. It was so stale.
Do you still have athletes coming to you for bodybuilding? And like,
lot.
what is your like perspective changed on that? Like,
I do
you,
not train competition athletes anymore.
You will not?
My mind can't even get there.
Like, what do you say if someone comes to you and is like,
I got a
you
great
did
coach
great
for you.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think when I was pregnant was my last competition season, or putting someone through a competition season, because I had worked with them before.
Okay.
So it was like I had them through their off season, and then we went back to their on season, competition season. And as soon as I was done with her, I was like, yeah, I'm out of that
I'm
space.
out of there.
I couldn't even fathom feeding someone that little, because I
Yes.
knew what
You knew
I knew what
better.
a body needed. Yeah. I was like, I think I'm good on this. But at the same time, it all served a purpose. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm good on that.
With you knowing the extreme and what actually happens when they put the food in your body, you know what kind of nutrients you need, and you know how much is needed.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say to some of the clients that's like, well, I eat everything right. Like, I don't know why nothing is changing. I always laugh at that, but like,
I love
what's your
picking people
remarks?
apart to make them realize, like, no,
Yeah,
you just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Well, it's I almost, you have some people that want to train like an athlete or look like an athlete. I'm like, okay, cool. I give them like a structured sample meal plan. Okay, here you go. Follow that for 3 weeks. See if you can do it. Then they tell me they follow it. I'm like, I bet you didn't.
there's no way.
Right? Like you're used to cooking with oil. Not that you can't cook with oil, right? But like you're probably used to cooking with oil. I bet you're snacking while you're making dinner. All those little things that add up. And I love life not thinking about that anymore, right?
I feel like you're calling
like
me out with the snacking while dinner. I do snack.
Oh, you should see me. You should see the things that go in my Costco cart.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's going to be gone.
But what about it with the kids now? Or your guys' kids aren't eating too much food, but like,
oh, let me show
the
you a video
amount
after.
of food waste with these kids. Like, I'm gonna snack on your dinner. I'm gonna snack on my dinner, and then you're gonna eat, like they eat all our dinners. I have to eat.
My friend sent me a video of like a baby trying stuff and just spitting it out, and then a mom was just like, oh, darn it. I'm sorry, and eating it, right? And I was like, oh, that's disgusting. And then I realized how much food I was eating that my son didn't eat. That he wasn't.
It's so wasteful. These kids are savages. Like they just waste.
Yeah.
I'll show you a video after this. My 13-month-old is a monster with food. Like he'll put his hand in eggs and avocado and just like put it in his mouth, not fully chewed. Cool, going back for more. But it's savagery. I love it.
Yeah.
But now I want all boys, which is kind of.
Are you all boys?
You know the
See,
the
we're
Gronkowski brothers? How like all four of them are like 6'5",
Yeah.
250?
Yeah.
I mean, my grocery bill would be stupid, but
Yeah,
I'm ready
your
for that.
grocery bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the Costco queen
I'm the Costco
over
queen.
here.
I love Costco.
Yeah, she loves
My
Costco.
kid loves
Shout out to Costco.
Costco, Lululemon, we're all about it. Everything.
Yeah. So now, now moving into the personal training world. Now you worked for a big gym, which was Redcon.
Redcon.
At the time. So and now you're going to a little bit more smaller,
Boutique
private
style.
boutique style.
You know,
how's
it's funny.
How's that transition? Like that has to be tough, right?
No.
Was
No.
it everyone tough?
It's
Yeah?
everywhere I'm supposed to be.
Nice.
Wow.
You know what though? I was nervous in the personal training world trying to get a book again when I first moved here.
Mm-hmm.
So every evolution that I had, like I said, served its purpose. So the FTX Wellness that I was at for 3 years, almost 4 years first, sports performance, right? So I only had 75% full of my book, or 75% full book. And it was perfect. I wasn't too busy, but I was just enough busy meeting new people, all different walks of life. I mean, I trained Coco Gauff for like 2 weeks while somebody was gone.
Oh, nice.
I trained a 72-year-old woman. I trained 14-year-old twins. I kind of had a little bit of everything, but I knew I wasn't right there yet. Like it didn't feel right. Was there for 4 years, served its purpose. As I was in my bodybuilding world, Redcon opened. I was like, I'm definitely going there.
That place is sick.
But I've never in my life, especially playing volleyball and then going to sports performance. And at the time, I was trying to get my strength and conditioning certification. Failed that 3 times. Spent too much money on that. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk
I know
about
that
it.
world. Yeah, I know that world.
Rude. But then when I saw Redcon was opening up, I was like, that's the next journey. Have to do that. And I saw what that was about. I've never been in a place that had machines.
Really?
Ever.
Yeah.
Like the only machine that we had at FTX was Assault Bites, Vertimax, safety bars, and like
Yeah, I think
TRXs.
those are really not even
and Kaisers.
machines. Oh,
yeah,
the Kaisers.
Kaisers,
Yeah,
but like
those
still
are really not
air
machines.
pressurized.
Yeah.
Loved it. And then I went to Redcon. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what my bodybuilding body needed. Like
Yeah.
I've never felt my muscles like this. Served its purpose for 4 years, and then I knew that I'm a functional trainer, right? I want someone to understand why their body works the way it does and how, and to know what it feels like to not be, under a machine. Machine's great for beginners, but then there's the evolution that they need to have. And then again, I met my glass ceiling. I was like, I need to try something else. And then the perfect opportunity, the gentleman I worked with originally at FTX, he had started his own physical therapy business. A couple different places, same thing. One spot for 3 years, another spot for 3 years. Then he made it to opening his own boutique. Only bringing on 3 trainers. Mind you, I'm the only strength trainer. Then there's a mobilizer. She focuses on FRC, a little bit more just the mobilization side.
Okay.
Oop. And then someone that does foundation training, which is like the breath and stuff that goes into like the groundwork, right? So we're an ecosystem. And I love that. So now I'm in a place where it's beautiful, it's small, it's personal. My clients can come and not have to worry about a bunch of other stuff. Redcon was like, and don't get me wrong, this is the culture and I love it. What outfit are you wearing to the gym today?
Yeah,
right?
that's more
What drink
of a-
did you drink? What'd you eat last night? What,
Definitely a bodybuilding world.
yeah,
I'll tell you
and
that.
I love that. Until I was, ready to do the family thing and go a little smaller. And like the boutique is honestly, I think now people want that more.
Redcon's huge, but compared to like what you and I did, kind of the same idea. Like you and I left a bigger gym. Donald started
Yeah.
DRP and, was here for a while in smaller style training studio. And then, we moved over here and it's kind of similar. Like it was just like, it's nervous to do it, but like different phase in your life. And I feel like it serves a different purpose at different times. And
Yeah. Well, now, like when I first had Tyson, which is my 13-month-old, You know, I would bring him to Redcon because I was on a salary position. Like I had some clients, my normal book, but I wasn't trying to build a new clientele through like that first 6 months. I was just trying to float. I was just trying to stay afloat.
Yep.
But I'd bring him to work sometimes, and I was like, okay, this gym's getting really busy. A lot of people. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Now I'm like, all right, buddy, hang out here on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be back. And no one's in the way.
Nobody's in the way.
I love it.
Yeah, especially with that small boutique. That's like perfect.
And he's like learning to walk there, right? He's holding onto the hip thrust brick, and he's like letting go, and he's like, yeah, I did it. But in the Redcon, I wouldn't even put him down. Because not that it's dirty, there's just so many people.
Yeah, there's way too many people, and people want to grab and touch and pick up and
I'm
kiss
a people person,
kiss the
and
kid.
it's hard to say no. I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah.
love my baby. Then I'm also like, get away. But, you know, it's
Yeah,
hard.
it's a little tough.
And
yeah.
have you changed a lot of your training styles, do you think, and habits? Like, do you think after becoming a mom, or do you think these things would have changed? No.
It's all the same. I think more functional style now that I've had a baby, because I wouldn't, you know, trying to get your core back. You relearn so much stuff after that, and I'm like, I'm gonna make sure everyone knows this while they're learning everything.
And what about
even men with their pelvic floor? I'm like, do you know you have this?
Yep. No, they do, which we don't. No.
No.
we
And
don't.
then when they use it, they're like, hey,
Yeah.
can't
we
do
like
it.
Tyler and Pilates. That's good stuff.
That was probably the worst workout I've ever had. When I did it a few years back, and I was like, okay, what is this? And
Once a
how
week is just
come
enough.
everybody in here which is nothing wrong with it, they're over 50 and they're not sweating, they're not dying, but I'm
Why
in
are you
here
fine?
crying. I'm in here
Right.
crying. Literally, I'm like, I'm about to cry.
It's another level, man.
Yeah.
I only do it once a week now, but like I tell people, I'm like, if you can try Pilates, you can do anything.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever wanted to kind of just go off on your own and start your own company? Like, has there ever been like
so funny? Imposter syndrome again, right?
Yeah.
I know I could. It's so scary.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? I just recently got out of I was building my app, right? And I was doing all these things to set myself up for when I had the baby. Not that anything fell through, but that my app investor and I just kind of fell out, right?
Yeah.
So having something or having an investor and having that there and it not doing well scares me to do something else. Doesn't mean I won't do it, but if something, God's timing, right? I definitely see my husband and I opening something, and just like the evolution of everything serves its purpose, right? So I think in a couple years it'll flow, and I think God will let it happen. Yeah.
Ooh, now I couldn't do the online. I tried online training. I couldn't do it. I don't know if Darci, how you
It's
felt.
hard.
I've done a little
I'm not
bit. I've done
it's
more
tough.
like one-on-ones, like virtuals.
Sure.
But like, I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool to do
That's
it.
even hard because you don't feel like you're doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, we got this. We do it. Like, I have a couple clients that leave for the season. We have a very seasonal
Oh, sure.
structure, so people go and I'll make some videos or something. But unless I'm actually doing it with them, I don't know they're even doing it. Like, there's a lot of effort. It's a lot of time. Like you said, editing videos and doing
Yeah,
things.
it's
like,
not a discipline and structure. Which online, like once I leave here, it's over. So,
Oh, I know.
like I'll leave everything here pretty much. So
I will
online is so
tell
tough
you,
for me.
I think I've learned a lot, especially through feedback, right? Once a client's with me and they're leaving just because of, hey, Hannah, I've learned a lot. Thank you. I'm like, okay, I need all the feedback. Tell me everything you liked and everything you hated, because it's the only way I'm going to grow, because otherwise it's just someone's using my service and then leaving.
Yeah,
Right? I don't
for sure.
really know. And I think, too, it's a lot of being readily available. Because in my app, or I use Trainerize, just like a lot of people do, but they're, conversating with me over the app. They're like, hey, I don't really understand this exercise. So I'll be with a one-on-one, and I'll say, hey, Marcos is asking me what's the tempo for this, or something for this lift. And I'm like, can I take a second to answer this? It's not very often, but like the people that I have every day, they understand I'm working through two different ends. But trial and error, to be honest. There was a lot of years I was like, I'm not good at this. Imposter syndrome. Once again, I'm like thinking I'm not enough, and I'm like, Hannah, girl, you're doing fine.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and it's just flowed. And honestly, referrals have been the best. Like I've gotten, this girl got ready for her wedding. Great, she's getting married too. This is what I got, or this is who I worked with. Work with Hannah. Hi, Hannah. I'm so and so, and I was referred through so and so, and I was like, oh wow, this is great. So
awesome.
I do marketing for myself, and I should do more, and I should be in more of a social media presence. But
You actually do well with the social media presence.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was
you
going
do
to say,
well.
I gave you a follow last night, make sure
I
it's
said
safe.
you do well. Yeah, see,
Thank
like you
you.
do well. You do pretty well.
Yeah,
Maybe imposter syndrome's running me a little more than I
Yeah,
thought.
because I'm like,
Sheesh.
I'll go, and then at some point I'm like, and then I just disappear for like a week and a half.
it was like the other day I told you, I was like, oh, I posted a reel. I was like, I got 2,000 views. I was like,
You got 2,000 views? See, that's my problem. Like, what? Who?
But then I
what's the
can't think of.
algorithm here?
But then I can't think of what to post next.
I know, girl. And
Yeah,
it takes
it's
me
constant.
3 days to make one. I'm like,
Like, think of an idea, put it in my notes, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta like
I'll see
search
that
through
in
this.
January.
Yeah, mine is just the sadness of I'm performing or I'm actually doing a video and I'm like, this video sucks. And I'm saying it in my head as I'm doing the video. And it's like, yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Well, and I know my good friend's a tattoo artist, and we work together, and we do the referral business thing, right? So she'll help me make videos, doing the editing and stuff. Thank God,
Yeah.
or filming. And I'm like, where would I be without you? But like the algorithm, right? If we stop posting or take that week or so off, that's when it doesn't flow. So now I'm just trying to put 5-second things out rather than like my 90-second super instructional with a bunch of information here. I'm like,
And it
no
stinks
one's
like the
reading.
short ones do better. Like
I-
5
Yeah.
seconds and
I
whoa,
don't get it.
And
I
then
don't get it.
And I'm not doing no challenges. I don't care what anybody say. I'm not doing any of the...
you made us do that challenge the other day.
You see, I didn't post it.
You still made me do
So-
it.
I want to do like a. I hate TikTok. I'm just gonna throw it out there. But I want to do
Thank
a
you,
TikTok
thank
dance.
you, Donald. TikTok.
The way she looked at you before I even finished my sentence.
I do
We
love
go
the
this
Tik-
all day,
But that's
every
where
day.
it is. That's where it is. We need to do the TikTok dances, and I think we would definitely do well with it. But
What's annoying is that's the algorithm.
yeah, it is. But we need like someone here to record us, because if I tell you to do it, you guys will look at me crazy, and I'm like, never
How old
mind.
are all
still-
of us?
I am 34.
Okay, 32.
31.
Okay, so we're all
So
the
we're all
same
the same
age range. We're just past where I feel like the 20 to 25-year-olds are like
Yeah,
the
that's
ones
their-
making
that's
it.
their
And that's
style.
all that was at Redcon. That's what was being marketed.
really?
Yeah, that's not in a bad way. And I'm not bad talking Redcon. I was looking for the 30 to 60-year-old that wants to be with me for a long time.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
it's a
looking for that
lifestyle.
longevity
Yeah.
of it, and yeah, they don't have that.
And they want the boutique.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, the boutique is so much easier. It's just so much more
I just feel
personal, and
better
you can
there.
just talk with them and understand them. They become your best friends.
I said we have a family here, like a little
was like
relationships.
family.
There are friends. There.
we,
Definitely,
We've been to one of our clients' wedding, his kid's wedding.
Yeah, we did a wedding the
we-
other day.
It becomes very personal.
social.
And they become
It's-
family.
Absolutely.
They do.
But that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
That's what gets you up every day. If you're going somewhere you don't like and you're not family with anybody, why are we here?
But it's like, yeah, we like
Exactly.
conversations with them. Like we know their family, their kids, their friends. Like the conversations just flow.
Well, and let's
the
be
people
real,
just-
we're personal trainers, but we're therapists.
oh,
Yes,
we've been
we
saying
are.
that for
We
years.
are.
Yeah.
I should have went to school for that, because I'm like, the amount of stuff that I know, and I was put on. Which I like keeping record. I was on Three People's Wills, so I'm like, yeah, I'm up there.
My God.
Here we go.
Wait,
I think I might be
that
in.
far.
I think I might be in
Yeah.
one. I think I might be
Yeah,
in one.
what? Yeah,
I think I
I'm
might be
like Three People Wills. I got yeah.
My daughter is at least. I know my daughter's in one of my clients' wills.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm close, and
Do I need to go to
longest-
Jupiter?
Yes, you
I'm
do.
telling you, like my longest client, I think is
We'd say 10 years.
10 years. Yeah,
But
10 years.
I've got a sixer.
But
Yeah,
he doesn't even
sixer?
train.
Paulina, shout out. I told you I'd give you that.
Shout out to Melina.
Shout out to your 10-year-old client that doesn't even train with you, or your 10
All right. Like literally, he just goes around everybody. It's like
That's something really cool I think that we do here that I think a lot of gyms struggle with. Like we do a lot of I'm going on vacation. Like in the past, like a client wanted to train with someone else. You're always so afraid that client was going to be stolen, or like that happened to me a lot. And here it's like,
100%.
hey, I don't have the time for you today. Like okay, well, does Donald or like does Kyle or like does anybody
Yeah,
else?
we
And we
share-
just
we share
like we just
everyone.
flop clients, and like
I
I think
love that.
that
That's
is
trust.
so cool. Like
Yeah.
and you never worry like. Oh, they're gonna leave you. They might be like, "Hey, today I'm not feeling it. Can I work out with Darci?" Or, "Hey, I really want to work hard. Can I work out?" Like,
That's
and
kind
it's
of
just-
fun.
It is.
It's-
It is. And the fact that everyone doesn't take it personal is so much. And that's why it was so important to find. I'm always asking them, anybody who we're thinking about bringing in or adding to the team, I'm like, hey,
Do they
let
flow?
this person come in. Did they flow? What do you feel like?
Yeah, how'd you feel
who they
about
are. Talk to them, understand them.
There's been so many other
You know,
gyms.
see
Like
how it
every
works.
time you go on vacation or every time you're like, this doesn't work, you're like, oh man, is the client gonna leave me? Like,
Yeah.
you know, are
And
they
I've
gonna
never
like the
been
other
in a
trainer better?
competitive state. Like even going to this new gym, I was like, all right, who's coming on? Like, do I need to worry about it?
Yeah,
Just
it's
because-
not.
Not that it's super competitive. Same thing as Jupiter in Boca. It's people are leaving for half the year, and I'm like, are they
Yes.
gonna come back to me? Or like, I'm afraid that my clients are looking at what they're doing. I'm like, no, eyes over here.
Yeah,
Look at
pay
me.
attention. No.
Wow.
No.
And that's
I
the
love
time
that for
sometimes
you.
we're like, okay, well, great, you can work with him for a day. Like I have clients sometimes like, oh, I want to do a session with Donald because I want to do this. I'm like, okay, great. And they turn around and come back to me the next day, and you're like, oh, like there's trust. And
You're
it's
like, oh,
like,
thank God.
Yeah, so
it's
I mean,
cool.
we do pretty well with that. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with the the family that we've built. So like that's huge.
That's how you know you got a good place.
Especially in the personal training world. Like that's because it's you get a lot of attention. So it's actually it works pretty well.
Is it mostly women here?
No.
No.
Darcy's the
I'm the only girl that works here.
No,
Maybe
Jasmine.
that's why that flows well.
Jasmine.
Just kidding.
And she's the most ruthless out of us all.
What was her name?
Jasmine. Jasmine's the only other trainer.
That's a
here.
girl.
That's a girl. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's physical therapist.
Yeah, she's a physical therapist.
But I keep them in line. Like, I don't take their crap.
Did you
Yeah.
play any sports, Darcy?
I played college soccer.
I could totally see
Yeah.
that.
So to keep it in line.
Cool.
Yeah, Darcy. Everybody here.
Everyone
Trent.
played sports.
Yeah,
Oh,
Trent was
exactly.
Trent was football. Darcy soccer. Cal was lacrosse.
Oh, cool.
And Jasmine played sports here and there. And Joe was a swimmer.
Yeah. So we're all
really
really
good.
competitive. I feel like
Yeah,
there's
so
all
we're
the
all really
competitive.
That's
but
an
like,
important thing to have, too.
Yeah, everybody has. They not only they talk the talk and they walk the walk. So, like when we tell athletes to do something, and it's like, hey, look, I'm not telling you just because it's something I
felt
read.
this
We've done
benefit,
it.
now do
But
it.
we've also
Yeah,
all had
we've
like
done
a
it.
similar story. Like, kind of fell into training. Like, okay, we got out of college and like we had this bond. We had a team and we had, and then you're now what? Like now I can go do whatever I want, but I can't. It's just things change when you get out of college and that's all you ever knew was your sport and your
The
family.
grind every
So it
day.
was like we all kind of bond well. Like now we've created that outside of our sport where we thought we weren't gonna have anything like that again.
Yeah.
It's been cool.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we
I
try.
feel that too.
We try. Now, so for your personal training clients, like now with a lot of things that's going on with the drugs and the supplements, how do you have that, conversation or that talk with them? Like, hey, look, before we start doing all of the supplements and the fat burning,
I was like,
this and-
I'm sorry, none of my clients
Before-
want to take steroids, but I'm talking about like Ozempic and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what it
like,
is?
what-
They
what
ask
is
me
it?
more questions about why people do them. The clientele that I have right now is not looking to. They're not the steroidy type, But they ask me so many questions. Why does that guy look like he's taking so much that, like, especially when I was at Recon? They would ask me questions about it.
Yeah.
And I would explain to them, I may have not have done as well as I could have done in the sport because I chose to be steroid free. And I want that. And I actually didn't do steroids. One, I don't want to mess with my hormones. I don't even want to mess with that. But also my husband wants to get in the UFC, right? So he's not allowed to take steroids either.
Yeah.
So we made that bond with each other. I was like, I'm not, or a promise to each other.
Yeah, that was one. I did an all natural one,
Yeah.
bodybuilding show, and then I did one that was kind of like freelance, and it was the acceptance of it. I was like, wow, like this is really
yeah.
something like you can
Especially
do and
in
take
men
it.
competition.
I was
Like women,
whoa.
Yeah,
But, like,
it's
And you don't stand a chance if you don't take it. Like I'm gonna just put that out there now. You don't stand a chance.
yeah, the
So,
NPC, and my goal with the NPC, which is the National Physique Committee, right?
I think so.
I should. But I was like, I want to beat people that are on steroids. That's the whole reason I did it. And I did that 3 times, and then I got on national stage, and I was like,
Yeah, you
no
want
chance.
the changes in the development of certain things, and you're like, wow, yeah, let me get out of.
yeah, there's
let me get
no
out of this.
no amount of hash browns and salt and like no water that I could have to make me pop like that.
No, not at all. It's not even close, which is so surprising. But that's one of the things that I feel, and me and Darcy and a lot of trainers go through it, the supplements, the drugs, having these conversations with clients, and then even telling them, hey, look, even if you are going to do this, here's some of the things you need to be aware of.
Absolutely.
Resistance training, you should not stop. You need to increase that as much as possible. Like,
And don't
we
you
need
feel
to be
like living
adding
in
that.
South Florida, it's or like anywhere where there's a beach, it's just more prominent.
It is,
Like,
and it's but it's also so tough because, like I always say, we got Meatball Monday, we got Taco Tuesday, we got
wow.
Wine Wednesday.
Is this at your house?
No, this is just
This
like
is what Donald
down
thinks
here.
exists in the world every day.
I'm
like,
telling you.
I was like, I need to meet
Taco
your
Tuesday,
wife.
like,
No.
Meatball Monday? That's great.
Literally, like we got everything
No,
around
Uber
here.
Eats. Uber Eats sponsor us, please. Donald needs to make a living.
We got a Jupiter Donuts
Yeah.
right up the street. Like it's so much outdoor activities you can do here. So it's
How did
so
we
hard.
bodybuild?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because that's the problem. It's so hard to actually stay disciplined.
agree more.
There's so much you can get into.
That's why we
bad.
tell them to continue to resistance train, because if you want to eat food, you
can-
do
You
can
need
do
to have
so.
the muscle to burn it.
Yeah, you
Boom.
can do so. You can have a little fun, but yeah, that's why I did it for those 2 or 3 years, and then I was like, I remember going through. I committed to a show, and then I was probably 9 weeks into my 20-week training, and then I was like, I was cooking some chicken, and I was like, nope.
I'm over it.
And I think I jumped on DoorDash and I ordered a pizza. Yeah, and it was it. And I text my coach like, "Yep, nope." I didn't.
This was fun.
I didn't have the mental. It's such a mental game, and it's like I don't want to do it anymore.
Now, when you did that, Was that when you just opened this space?
No, it was before.
No, that was
Okay.
right before. And then we had...
You had a space before that, though, correct?
I had a space before
That's
that. Yeah,
what
I
I'm
had
imagining,
it was a 600 square foot space. It was just me. That was right after COVID, so it was like, it's just me in there.
Yes.
You know.
Well, you already have your, like, in that instance, I was working for someone else, which is fine. So I was just going to work every day, kind of like a skeleton in the zone. You have a whole business you're running.
Yeah, and that was the tough
My
part.
brain wouldn't be able to do both of those.
Yeah, and that was a 6 a.m. Like I'm in there 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and you're just knocking out hours. So it was like, I'm not going home to eat, boiled chicken breast and I want.
That's gonna stick with me now.
Yeah, I want some
have
meatballs.
expectations.
Meatball Monday. Yeah, don't get me started with that.
He's gonna go all day.
Yeah, I got gift cards for days. Like,
We definitely have pasta, like, what is it, like, probably like Tuesday or Thursday. It used to be Chipotle Thursdays.
Yeah.
We have our things.
What's on Saturday? What's Saturday?
I can't remember
Savagery.
Saturday is like Caribbean Day, so like my wife is Haitian, so she makes a lot of.
Is she cooking all of this?
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah, she
Listen,
is
I can cook,
a
but it ain't like
cooker.
that.
Yeah, she
No,
is a
Tyler's
cooker.
the-
So like she's making like Haitian food. Like this weekend, she's making Haitian food this weekend. So I am literally getting my TV shows ready because I'm not moving nowhere.
Netflix and chill.
Yep, mac
See, I'm
and
the-
cheese. Here we go.
I'm like the worst of both of those worlds. My husband does all the cooking, which is fine. I cook, but he's like bone marrow, steaks, doing all these things. We're making sure the hormones are right over here, okay? That, and then he's like, what show are we watching? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's
I'm
like
useless, apparently.
I'm literally done. I love it. I love it. So no, I use every day as if you want to call it a cheat meal. I try to find a way to make it like that. I enjoy
80-20,
it.
okay? 80-20.
Yeah, 80-20. Or
60-40.
60-40. It's been more
Well, you found your
60-40.
40. You found your 40.
I've definitely been more 60-40. So, but I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Yeah, it's having fun. It's enjoying it. So, I can't stop, and I don't think I plan to stop either. So
That's okay.
So, but now that you're your mom, you're still in the fitness, you're still in the personal training. I love the fact that you get so happy and excited. What do you think is the change going to happen for you, not only for yourself in the personal training world, but over the next few years? What do you think the training world is going to? What do you think the fitness world is going to?
You know what's funny? It kind of flows into like the things that I've learned this past year being a new mom, right? I haven't trained as much, not nearly as intense. I feel and look the best I feel like I've looked in my life. So it's almost like being able to teach people that I've also taught, you need to be in the gym 5 days a week if you want this, this, and this. I can now attest to them, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's funny, being as, I mean, I still got intensity there, but like doing things less intense and with less not putting too much brain power into something that doesn't deserve it, right? It's working out. It should be fun. If you're not doing something that's not fun, why are you doing it, right?
Yeah,
And I think motherhood has taught me, I need a whole nother podcast for that. I've learned a lot of stuff. But like with where the fitness industry is going, right? So the past 5 years, we've learned that Orange Theory is actually hurting our cortisol levels, right? And I mean, cortisol is through the roof just for everybody. And how can we control that is what our daily life is now entailing. But like, I feel like with motherhood and where our brains go, we think we need to do this much cardio, get all these steps in, eat this kind of food, and do all this kind of training, when really, like, just focus on getting in whole foods and keep lifting weights.
Yeah.
And that doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be this. But, like, it's actually a lot more simple than we were making it the past
Do you
10
feel
years.
like it drives you crazy? I mean, I'm a new mom too, ish.
Oh, yeah,
but
girl.
it drives you crazy when you hear from these like moms that are like, I mean, I know I go to the park a lot in Jupiter, and like these moms are just like doing nothing all day. They're with their kid, yeah, but like, oh, I don't have the time to do that. I'm like, you don't have the time, like 15 minutes, like 20. Like, I just like want to rip them out of their skin and be like, it does not take, just short and sweet, like
100%. And I'll never tell someone how to lead their motherhood journey, but
Absolutely not.
if they want something, I'm very, very honest with them. You have time. You have time, right? Like,
I mean, I definitely test the working mom. Like, I'm more like part-time.
Sure.
Part-time plus, but it can be done. Like, you just got to find, I mean, it's getting up earlier. Yeah, it's staying up later. It's finding it in the middle. Like, lying on the floor with your kid. Like, take a set of dumbbells into our bedroom. I do it so often.
literally same.
Like, a couple sets and just playing. Watch them play. They have so much fun. And my kid loves. She squats. She jumps. She can, like, lunge.
watch us.
She sits there and dangles from bars when we go places. And I'm like, she just watches and she loves it. And like, it's fun. You're teaching this at such a young age.
100%.
Like, and I just feel like it's such a benefit to all moms to be able to like teach these healthy habits.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be intense. Like it can be dumbbells, but if you want to just lie on the floor and do some core and some push-ups and some like, there's
That's all
other
it
things
is.
you can do too.
Well, and that's why I'm like kind of two ways, right? I'm the intense Hannah that wants people to know, like, you can do it, you have all the time in the world, wake up earlier, do this, but like, then I'm also I'm becoming more of the soft Hannah and understanding, like, I know that, you know, I get tired too. Yes. Oh my gosh, 7 o'clock at night, I'm like, right? Putting the baby to bed. Then after, like, you know, I'm zonked. But there is always time to do something. And like, if you are that full-time working mom, first of all, you're killing it. I can just tell you that, you're killing it. But just taking 10 minutes of your 30-minute lunch or your hour lunch and just move, right? Just stretch in your chair or go outside for 10 minutes.
Go for a walk.
Do something. There, you can always do something for yourself.
It's like we're always like lying on the floor, like stretching. It's like when you stretch, like
I'm
I
on
don't
a phone
know,
or, like,
between
I'm
clients,
always
like
there.
you're watching your Netflix, like just lie on the floor, like your kid's playing, whatever, just stretch, like simple, like don't make a whole like I don't have 10 minutes today. I know none of us really have 10 minutes,
know.
like.
But it also comes down to, and I have to almost instill this in my clients too, don't you want better for you, right? You first. You can't take care of them unless you got it together.
Put your mask on first, right?
Exactly. Here first and then here second, right? Head first, muscle second. And like I feel best when I move. Doesn't matter how it is. Like I hate yoga, but like I'll do it. Like Pilates sucks, but I like to do it. And then lifting weights, you know, feels good.
Yeah, I'll eat vegetables even though I don't really want to do it.
You know, I don't really eat vegetables anymore.
No?
No. And I feel really good.
God, Hannah, we're here. We're understanding. We're understanding. Sorry for our clients.
But all of our clients
eat your vegetables.
Eat your vegetables. I eat my vegetables.
We
Eat your
put the work
vegetables.
in already.
I eat my
Eat
vegetables
your
for all of you.
I don't want to hear it. I don't care what we say. Eat your vegetables.
I like beets. Oh, what a vegetable.
Ooh.
I'm like, wait a second.
It's a root. Gross. They come
It's
from
a
the ground.
root, so it's got to be a vegetable.
That's like the only vegetable. If that is a vegetable, I don't like that.
That was
don't
rough
know.
for me. I'm a nutritionist, and you can find me at Hannah. No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna have to chat GBT that. I'm gonna have to chat GBT that. I am not sure.
Terrible.
Yeah, right. So, lastly, Hannah, what do you have for the up and coming personal trainers or anybody who's looking to get into the industry? What is one or two advice that you would give them? And
Don't bodybuild.
Understand? Yeah, don't bodybuild.
Number one, don't do a bodybuilding competition first.
It will not make you a great trainer.
No. I want to say, up and coming trainers, never stop educating yourself because there's always something to learn and it's fun, right? Find something you enjoy. I think my next one that I want to do, like education-wise, is perimenopause and menopause, right? Because now I want that, and I want to say I know a lot about it, but I know nothing about it, right? And it's a sketchy place because I have a lot of 40 to 60-year-olds who come to me to lose weight, and we'll have a success story. 5 months in, we're losing all this weight, and then they're gaining it back.
Yeah.
And I can only give them so much guidance now, except for we got to get blood work done. We maybe go see, so-and-so to make sure this is right. But I'm like, I need to know more, right? And there is always something you won't know, and you should then take that and go learn off of it.
Opportunity.
Yeah. So I want to say keep learning, and in the beginning, take on every client. Doesn't matter what your niche is. Take them all on
I think
because
that
you're going
is
to learn from
so
them.
important.
Yeah.
Like people fear, like I don't know how to train someone like that. I'm like,
I was
then
scared to
learn.
train men.
Yeah.
They're the same.
I was so afraid to train
They're probably
older
the-
people, and
they're
my
probably the
oldest
easiest,
client is
yeah.
93. Like
Yeah,
I was
she literally has the
so
oldest client.
afraid
Yeah.
to train. I was like, I'm gonna break them. Like,
Yeah.
what do I do? Like, how do I spend 45 minutes with an old person? Like,
Yeah.
No, but really, it's like, all right, we're gonna sit and stand.
and
Yeah.
it's amazing. She's such like, it's amazing.
Yeah,
They
and
do everything.
and they have the best stories, advice. That's the therapist for the
Yes.
hour, right? Like that's.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have a 72-year-old client that she just helps me slow down.
Yes.
Right, and she doesn't care about a Palloff press, and we're doing them. She doesn't care about them, but she knows it's gonna make her feel better. But she's talking about my kid Tyson, right?
Oh,
And I've cried multiple times during our sessions, and I'm just like, Lynn.
Thank you so much.
My
I'm like, we're lucky
7-year-old
we have-
client, we used to go out for like wine and drinks after, or like every.
See?
She'd be like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we're done our session. You want to go get dinner?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Darci does
Well,
very
yeah.
well. She does very well with older guys,
Well,
actually.
We're like
Duh.
besties.
My client will come in
Old
like,
soul,
do you want to
old
go for a walk? I'm like, I do.
Yeah, I
don't
need
care.
Those are my
Half-hour session.
favorite
I'm like, "All right, let's do it."
sessions.
Yeah, so
Sorry,
it's like I need.
back to your advice.
Right. I mean, I don't have any more advice. Really, if you're a new trainer, network, meet people, keep learning, try new things, go to different, like with Lululemon, I was, thank you, Jesus, for Lululemon. I keep saying that because
Now I got to go buy some Lululemon gear.
Donald
so
is
you have to buy it.
Yes, he
CRZ
does.
Yoga on Amazon. Okay, bye. I'm never paying for Lululemon again. I had 60%. I love you, Lululemon. But I used to have 60% off, so I can't justify it.
Okay. All right.
But the people there, best job I've ever had. I've just learned so much from there. But I got to meet so many people and try different things. So if I would have came here and not known anybody, I would have been super depressed. But, fun fact about Lululemon, I did get fired. But I didn't do anything wrong. That's another story for another day.
We'll have you back.
I had to say that. I feel better.
Part two of the podcast.
I now wear Viore. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Well, Hannah, we really enjoyed you coming today. Where can people find you? Social
sure.
media, Instagram.
So my social media is Hannah with an H at the end. Don't forget it. Ray, RAY_fit. That's probably the most prominent. I'm always looking for message requests if you guys are reaching out to me from there. I was like, no, I'm not going to give out my cell phone number. Am I?
Yeah, no, don't give it yourself.
No,
Don't get yourself.
Instagram's going to be the best one.
Instagram's
definitely.
the best one.
Yeah.
The old social media world.
Yeah.
Darci, do you have any remarks for Hannah?
I don't. I really appreciate you coming and
I
hanging
want our
out with us.
babies
This is
to
fun.
meet.
Yeah.
Right? We should
My
all bring
baby's
our
probably
babies.
this. How big is your baby? Like weight-wise?
Like 35 pounds.
Tyson's 32.
She's like a tall.
Yeah.
Since 32.
Yeah, in a good way. Like he could play with your. Well, he can't walk, but like
Yeah.
they could play.
Oh, she walks. She comes in this place like climbing up the treadmill, climbing up the
sure.
stair stepper, dangling, running with the football. Like
You're right. I'm not ready for this.
these kids are crazy.
Like,
My kid's a monster.
I got to show you breakfast yesterday morning. I swear.
Is she or is he training any sports yet? Like, are you
My
started
child?
doing it? Yeah.
Well, my husband fights, so he does a lot of.
Oh, they think.
Oh wait, have you heard of toddler tough?
No.
It's this big square. You actually have. I mean, I have a toddler. You have a toddler. It's like a big square playpen, but it's got a hanging bag at one end and a basketball hoop at one end and 2 soccer goals. We can't move yet, but we put him in it, right? But he's got the bag on the ground, and Tyler teaches him to. So you hear him like ha ha.
Oh,
It's
you gotta
cute.
see me
And
that.
I'm like-
yeah, you
I'm
gotta
like,
see me that.
oh,
link.
Dahlia gets
I'm
Yeah,
like, wait, do not teach him this.
Yes.
I want him to be able to fight, but he will not be a fighter. Okay.
Yeah, no fighter.
love-
Okay,
but
yeah,
he
I
can
need
play
that
football.
link. I need that link.
Yeah, we
I
need
need
that
that
link.
link because she
Gotcha.
will be a fighter because she gonna.
What's this thing
I'm
called?
teaching her.
Toddler-
Toddler tough. It's a
Toddler
gentleman in
Tough?
Australia.
Sponsor
Yeah.
us too, Toddler Tough.
He
on, Toddler
sponsored
Tough.
us, so we might sponsor you.
Come on, Toddler Tough. Come talk to us.
Toddler tough.
Well, for everybody out there, if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or concern, shoot us a message in the comment box below and just reach out to us and we'll talk about any of your questions that you have. So, Hannah, thank you again for coming.
Yeah,
This
thank
was
you
a
for having
pleasure.
me.
We may have a part 2. For
Yeah, this is
We have
definitely
to
part
do
1.
this.
With kids.
With kids. With kids.
kids, oh,
We'll
get
see
the
how chaotic it'll be. We'll bring little mini headphones. So, thank you so much,
guys.
Hannah, and thank you for everybody who's listening and watching us today. Have a good one.
Bye.